For most animals, a crocodile is a real monster that appears out of nowhere, grabs with terrible jaws, and drags under the water. But sometimes the crocodile meets such a rebuff that it becomes a pity. Hippos, lions, and even some zebras are able to turn this predator into a chop in a couple of seconds. Who will you bet on, the lion or the crocodile? A reptile with its huge jaws can be twice as heavy and several times stronger than the lion. And the bite force of a crocodile is about as strong as the Bugatti engine is more powerful than a moped. There is a lot of evidence of reptiles attacking large cats during watering or crossing reservoirs by swimming. Leopards and cheetahs are really tasty prey for these reptiles. And a crocodile can also try to repel a lion's prey if it is on the shore, or even attack an entire pride. But it turns out that attacking lions is a bad idea. These cats are distinguished by the enormous strength of their paws and the ability to fight, which crocodiles can only envy. If the leader of the pride is not caught by surprise, he will be able to fight back against this overgrown lizard. This lion literally drove the crocodile under the water. Still, even this reptile won't want to get hit by this powerful paw. And a few lionesses themselves can turn a crocodile into a suitcase material. Their agility, speed, and group work allows them to successfully fight such an enemy in shallow water, where the crocodile has no advantage in maneuverability. And the claws of lions are strong and sharp enough to overcome the armor of such an opponent in a couple of blows. Other panthers, such as tigers and jaguars, can also hunt crocodiles and alligators. The first ones are generally the largest and strongest cats in the world, so if a crocodile allows itself to confuse a tiger with an ordinary victim, he will quickly point out to the reptile its mistake and teach some respect. The tiger has such powerful jaws that it is able to open up the crocodile's armor even in the strongest place, on its back. The reptile struggles, but is inferior in maneuverability and flexibility, at least on land. But if clashes between the tigers and crocodiles are relatively rare due to the caution of this striped hunter, then the jaguar is another matter. Lions and leopards mostly strangle the enemy. The jaguar breaks its neck or breaks the occipital bones with its fangs. Why? Yes, because they developed such a manner of hunting specifically against reptiles whose neck is too wide to intercept it in a suffocating reception. That is, alligators are in the top 5 favorite victims of jaguars. The alligator likes to attack from the water, but the jaguar is such a good fighter that when the reptile attacks, it does not retreat to land, but begins the fight right in the enemy's native element. That's when the alligator really regretted choosing an opponent. Felines in general are distinguished by boldness, which borders on arrogance. A unique frame got into the lens, where the crocodile is slapped by the simplest domestic cat. This impudence became so unexpected that the reptile simply retreated from resentment and disappeared under the water. Give this cat a like, show him your respect before he takes offense at you. Victory over a crocodile for most animals is a huge success and exceptional luck. But if this reptile tries to attack an elephant, well, here the result is quite obvious. The elephant is more than 10 times heavier and more massive, and its strength advantage is simply huge. And the reptile knows this, so it almost never touches elephants. If a crocodile attacks an elephant, it happens by mistake. Well, I accidentally confused the thin trunk of an animal with some small animal. Well, it happens in muddy water. It's difficult to see the details. What happens because of this error is another confirmation that you need to be careful with what gets into your mouth. For an elephant, even crocodile jaws are just a minor nuisance. But this is a touchy animal, and it will show the reptile with enviable persistence how wrong she was when she mistook the trunk for a zebra's little leg. An elephant can simply trample a crocodile, can throw it out of the water, or can beat the reptile with its own body, lifting it high by the trunk and then hitting it on the water and bottom. You will be surprised, but even a fish can give an unexpected rebuff to a crocodile. Moreover, we're not talking about a huge shark here, which is twice as large as the reptile, but about a fish less long than a crocodile's head. Any other kind of aquatic life of this size for this lizard is a snack and nothing more. But here the reptile has definitely contacted the wrong opponent. After all, this is an electric eel. It can create a voltage of up to 860 volts and a current of up to 40 milliamps. What do these numbers mean? They mean that the crocodile is literally paralyzed from shock, and its muscles are bound by a terrible cramp. Water is an excellent conductor, so an eel can attack a target within a radius of several feet, several meters around itself. And frightened by the threat of the crocodile attacks again and again, even when the enemy retreats. A few strokes are enough to stop the reptile's heart. Underestimating crocodiles and thinking that anyone can easily pile on them is not worth it, because to put it mildly, it's not like that at all. No wonder this creature is considered one of the coolest predators among modern reptiles. A crocodile can grow up to 13 to 15 feet, 4 to 5 meters, with a mass of more than half a ton. Excellent starting indicators for a hunter, but the main thing is a combination of powerful armor and weapons. The armor is made of durable scales, which somewhat resemble medieval armor. As a weapon, jaws in which the leg of an adult man can fit. All crocodile teeth are curved back fangs, the length of which can reach the length of a human finger. However, you need to be able to use this all arsenal. Well, here the crocodiles also have something to brag about, because they survived the dinosaurs for a reason, existing on the planet for tens of millions of years almost unchanged. Crocodiles prefer the technique of ambush hunting. He hides in the muddy water, waiting for the victim to pass by him. Then, a lightning-fast jerk, and with powerful jaws, the reptile takes its prey with it to the bottom. Thanks to its incredibly strong jaws, the crocodile is able to hold an antelope, zebra, or even a bull heavier than itself. At the same time, the reptile not only drowns its victim, but is also able to cope with it on land thanks to a unique fighting technique. When the crocodile grabs the victim, it folds its paws along the body and begins to rotate furiously along its axis, holding the victim. Even the strongest bones, tendons, and muscles cannot resist such a technique. But even with all this arsenal, the crocodile sometimes gets a good thrashing. Usually, ungulates become victims of African crocodile species. During seasonal migration, millions of these animals travel across entire countries in search of food. The backbone of such huge animals are wildebeest, which peacefully coexist with zebras. It is these herds that are the favorite prey of crocodiles, who are waiting for them at the ferry and collect their tribute from the herd, catching animals in difficult areas. But some ungulates are so stubborn that they simply refuse to disappear into the jaws of even this cold-blooded monster. Sometimes their salvation is a truly unique act. Just look at how the zebra jeweler avoids meeting with the jaws of crocodiles. It's like she's dancing. Of course, an exceptional striped horse is capable of such a feat, but who knows, maybe this zebra will teach its descendants to dance, and after 100 to 200 years, crocodiles simply will not be able to catch these dexterous ungulates. Answer in the comments, were you worried about this zebra, or were you rooting for the predator? In general, crocodiles are stronger than snakes. Poisonous ones usually cannot bite through their very thick and strong scales. As for pythons, even if the snake is twice as large, the crocodile is able to cope with it simply thanks to the strength of its huge jaws. The smooth scales of the snake cannot withstand a meeting with rows of crocodile fangs. But the problem is that the snake may not be twice, but 3 times or even 4 times larger than the opponent. And the crocodile often fails to understand this right away because the python is perfectly camouflaged, and in a twisted position or by the size of its head alone, it is difficult to estimate its entire size. Therefore, sometimes a crocodile really makes the mistake and gets involved with a snake that is too big. In this case, he turns himself into her lunch. The boa constrictor pounces on the reptile and wraps its ring around it so as not to allow itself to be bitten. And then, with each exhalation, he tightens his grip more and more in such a way that there is simply no room for oxygen in the crocodile's lungs. And when he no longer has the strength to resist, the python squeezes the enemy's body even harder to cause internal damage. It's a frightening picture, but if any antelope sees it, believe me, she will be delighted. After all, the python has just saved the neighborhood from a terrible predator, and now he will not hunt for several weeks.